Hi, Eric Gibaud, ericgibaud.com, and today I'm going to present you my 5 tips for September 2021. Let's start. So first, this is not an advice, it's not a tip, this is an observation. I am making this video in the worst moment, worst light, worst hour, worst wind. Everything is horrible, but I have no other choice because I've got my daughter with me and also Molly, Claudia Reyes' dog here. And if I didn't record now, I would not record soon. So I thought, well, I'm going to record anyway. What I'm going to say is more important than the way it looks, okay? But sorry for that. And yes, I know I've got a shadow here, all this, but this is the only moment and place I could record, okay? So let's start. Very often, when I make a review of gear, lenses or camera, whatever, I make series of pictures testing something. And also when you make portraits of several people, maybe you make series, one person then another person, or imagine if you're doing pictures of people graduating high school, for example, or at school, then you have they all dress the same, you know, so it's really hard to know who is who, okay? Or you traveling and you change from a city to another. Well, how can you really fast see what the series are? When you change from one thing to another one, make a picture of your hand, put your hand in front of the lens, make a picture. When you see all the small reduced size pictures on your Lightroom or whatever you use, you see all of them, you know exactly where it stops when you finish each series, because you see your hand, then a few pictures, then your hand, then a few pictures, then your hand. So if you do this, it's really handy. When I test lenses, I do that. I've got one config and I put my hand all this. It's true you can read the EXIF, all that, but it's a lot more time consuming. This way I really see straight away where the series starts and when it finishes, so use your hand. Well, the second advice, some people are going to get depressed when I say that, but Christmas time is in 3 months or 3.5 months, and I see that many people every year, their family or friend or wife or husband or parents or sons and daughters, they ask them, what do you want for Christmas? And at the last minute, and they say, I need a flash, or I need a lens, or it's not planned. And the result is that very often this gift is something they will maybe never use or use really little. So you must plan already, say, well, if I could get something for Christmas, it can be a self present also, I wouldn't need that. So try to plan it and tell around, also because it gives them time to order it. And very often at last minute, sometimes it doesn't get in time for Christmas, and because the transport has a problem or everything is out of stock, sometimes a seller actually put the price up because the stock are getting low, so there's a high demand for little stock, so they just put higher prices, so maybe it's better to buy already. And also for the next 4 months, 3 months before Christmas and 1 month after Christmas, this is probably the best time for second-hand gear, because many people want to sell the gear now to buy something new for Christmas, and other people, they get something new for Christmas and they sell just after Christmas what they had, okay? So it's good time. I made a video explaining what you should be aware of and take care of when you buy on second hand, but try to check what's available after thinking what you could buy. Also check the second-hand market, because now we're getting into the month of opportunities, okay? So plan it. Third tip, well, I explained several times that if you wanted to know what prime lens would be good for you, you could use your zoom lens and then stick a sellotape on it on a fixed focal length, like 35, 50 millimeter equivalent or whatever, okay? And then train with that. But this is to decide what prime lens would be okay for you. But if you already have a prime lens, any prime lens, or you have a zoom, you could also lock it on a fixed lens, then it will help you have more creativity. Force yourself to spend 1 week making picture every day with just this prime lens or your zoom lens locked on a fixed focal length. This way, like last week I was in Fuerteventura, I made a video there. I spent a week just with one lens on a camera, and it was a 33mm by Viltrox for Fujifilm, and equivalent of like 50mm on full frame. I spent a week just with that, so I had to think how I could frame, I could compose all this with that prime lens. So even if you have the option to use something else, or zoom lens, whatever, force yourself to use prime and force yourself to train with it. It will help your creativity a lot. Advice number 4. Getting back to Christmas. First of all, some of my followers don't celebrate Christmas for a personal reason or for a religious reason. They're not Catholic, they're not Christian, so they don't celebrate Christmas. No problem with that. I'm not getting into this. I'm just explaining about what people, the problem they get when they don't train for Christmas. And even people who don't celebrate Christmas, very often they still make pictures of Christmas lighting on the streets. So train, go out already. Even the Christmas lighting are not they're not there yet. Still, there are some lights. Train how to make pictures of outdoor at night. Train to make pictures at home. With the flash, without flash, with groups, what is the best focal length, what is the best depth of field to see a full party of people, how do you configure the autofocus to make sure the right things are, or the right person are sharp and the rest is blurred or whatever. But you must train. You must not wait for the last minute. Very often I see people, they fail their Christmas pictures because they had not trained. So now you have 3 months to train, to practice, and you don't need to have people dressed like Santa Claus. You can ask someone, stand here, I imagine that there's a Christmas tree behind, and how does it look, all this. Train now. Don't wait for the last second, or don't get to Christmas without any training if it's the first time you're going to make picture in some kind of better way, okay? Advice tip number 5. Well, it all depends on the amount of gear you buy every year, but even if you don't buy much, but you do buy every year, at least once or twice a year, make a list of all the gear you have. Camera, accessories, lenses, tripod, everything. Why? Because then you must classify, what do I use really often, what do I use sometimes, what I almost never use, and what I never use and will never use again. Okay, so create this list, and then maybe you have some gear that is worth some money and you could actually sell it second hand and buy something else with it, or other photography gear, or something else, a restaurant, or a trip to somewhere, make picture there. But very often we have a lot of gear we never use. We used it at one point because we needed it, and then we don't need it anymore. Or maybe you have a lot of money that is stuck there you could use for something else. So at least once or twice a year, make this list and evaluate what you really need and optimize your things, okay? Maybe you're just a gear collector, maybe you don't mind having this money sleeping there, okay? But this is one tip. I think very often we don't realize the amount of money we have in gear we don't actually use. So here are my 5 tips for September 2021. Sorry for the wind and situation, and lighting is horrible, but well, at least I didn't wait for the 30th of the month to publish my tip of the month, so I'm happy to do it. Here's today's 2nd of September. I don't know if I publish today or tomorrow, I'm not sure, but here it is, okay? So thank you for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, the small button down here, and a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Also leave you links of my gear on Amazon, links to all the gear I've tested by K&F Concept, and also link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.